What is going on, y'all? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? What is going? God damn it! I still got the dog on shit. What is going on? What's 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 going on? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? How is it going? Anthony Lee, Macho Tom in the building. Fly birds, fly. What is going on? Hit the like button if you have not already. Hit the like button if you have not already. Macho Time, I hope you can feel the power you've just been bestowed with. Braden, Ant White, Malone, Calvin, Don the King, Malik, Chrome Dome, Kosh in the building. Why so serious? How is it going? What cigar do I smoke? That's a good question. I mean, I'm not big into cigars. Smoke cigars. I couldn't break down some. I couldn't break down brands and stuff like that yet. I'm not that deep into the doggone cigar game, but whatever the case may be. David, what is going on? Jakeem, Isaiah, Oliver in the building. King Savage, Kid Leo, DeWilly, Tony, Gabriel, Alexander, Molly, what is going on? Skeeter in the building. Big Boy Blue, So Chill Steve, Villanonymous. I like that name. It's a nice name. Bad Frog. What they gonna do? What they gonna do when they come for you? I'ma shout it from the Vatican. Bad Frog. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bet you Kermit the Frog Mahomes. It's not a bad echo. Put Kermit on the on the mic. Bet you Kermit the Frog Mahomes takes the. No. Here comes the defense. They're gonna. I discover something new every doggone time. Say the truth. Johnny, Ty, let me turn off the goddamn siren while we doing this. We don't need to keep the siren going. We don't need the siren keep going. Oh no, I turned off the Vatican. We gotta go back to the damn cathedral. I ain't gonna do that no more because now my head's hurting. But hit that like button, God damn it. One way or another, ladies and gentlemen, week 6 is now in the books. We are entering week 7. If I'm not mistaken, we will have 6 teams that will be on bye for this particular game. So that's gonna be something. Satan, maybe that's how it's pronounced. You need your Raiders to do something this coming Sunday. Ain't that the truth? Because they are struggling. Sheem says Jets. Yes, indeed, they are playing magnificent at this particular time. Pablo said Thursday Night Football has been utter basura. Ain't that the truth? It's been absolute garbage, and we will start with that game in about 2 minutes. But let me see in the chat room right now. I want to see a 1 in the chat if your team won, a 2 in the chat if your team lost. All right, so let me know where you stand right now with your team. 1 in the chat if your team won, 2 in the chat if your team lost. If your team won, congratulations. If your team lost, for one, you're going to be eating some
fresh hot ales.
And then after consuming those fresh hot L's, I'm pretty sure that you're going to need to get your fix. And I got 14 grams of what?
You buy 14 grams of crack. Then you sell it.
Who was on crack?
Gonna have to get your fix if your team lost, goddamn. I'm seeing a number of 1s. I'm seeing some 2s as well. There's the bye for 3, but more teams won than they lost. So there is that. I'm seeing more 1s than 2s. So if your team did mess around and win, well, congratulations. Got yourself a W. Eagles fans are the only team in the league that have seen only W's. So congrats to you guys advancing. Obviously, no, you won't be the last game because Chargers and Broncos will be the last game. So there's that one. Braden said the Steelers don't make any sense. I actually disagree. I think they make perfect sense for these last 6 years of Pittsburgh. Pardon me, 5 years of Pittsburgh from 2022, 2021, 2020, 2019, 2018. Yes, 2017 was a different team, but 2018 to now, I think, is the epitome of Pittsburgh Steelers football is absolute delusion and confusion. So we'll get to that when we have to. Hello from Oregon, says Chris. Well, hello to you as well. And yes, we the ones. We are the ones. But one way or another, we are here to break down the game. Oh, wow. SRT said, can we get a Mr. Unlimited? Of course you can.
Mr. Unlimited. Yeah, you got to be unlimited. You got to have a thought process of being unlimited.
The only problem with having a thought process of being unlimited is because you're going to find yourself feeling like you caught in a storm because the Broncos thought it was going to be smooth sailing this entire season, but instead it looked like they caught in a goddamn hurricane of dangerous.
Yo! What the fuck, son? Yo! I'm just trying to work, son. Can I go to yo? What is this? Boy, extreme wind. Ah, shit. Shut up.
That's exactly what's happening right now in Denver. They're not having a very good time. Denver fans are not enjoying themselves. All I know is they came into the season with high hopes, and now you're hearing stories about how Marshawn Lynch trying to contact Russell Wilson to see if he's doing okay, with his mentals and things of that nature. Turns out he got a contact through his manager. Russell Wilson can't be contacted by Richard Sherman, Doug Baldwin, anybody who done played with him. I don't know if that's the Sierra portion of it to where this man thinks he's, so super Hollywood. I can't have his direct number despite the fact that we went to war with other motherfuckers on Sundays. Very bizarre, but whatever the case may be, Russell Wilson, we'll talk about him last. Gerald Patuan said, Broncos country, let's hide. That's exactly what needs to be going down right now. Unlimited diarrhea. Unlimited diarrhea. But first and foremost, we got to start with that abysmal Thursday night football game with the Commanders and Bears. I will say this. This was a game that nobody really enjoyed. It took until the third quarter for us to see a touchdown from Brian Robinson scoring his first score of his career. But outside of that, the quarterback play, Justin Fields, I think it is a unanimous around, with maybe the exception of Carson Wentz. But truly, I think we can all say, is Justin Fields operating as the worst quarterback in the NFL? Of all of the starters, can we all say Justin Fields right now is operating as the worst starting quarterback in the NFL? Baker Mayfield, Justin Fields, Carson Wentz, those guys, Mitch Trubisky, well, he did play stellar now in relieving duty, but we'll have to see what it looks like, moving forward. But can we say that Fields is operating as the worst quarterback in the NFL right now, starting NFL? I'm seeing a lot of yeses. I do see some no's. Some are saying Baker is worse. All right. I'm seeing a few are saying Baker is worse. Is there anybody else who you would say is operating worse? So Justin Fields, Baker, who else is in that elk? I would throw Wentz in there. There it is. Dylan says Wentz. Well, you know what? Who is serious says Russ. And you know what? I would have to throw him down there as well. Tiger said Tom Brady. All right, let's. He may not be playing at the same level, but I would definitely not involve him there. No, I would not put Trevor Lawrence in that bottom elk of the bottom four. I think if we were to look at the bottom four in the league right now, I would say went or two or post concussion could be. Well, damn, that's not nice. That's not nice. Davis, no, I wouldn't put them. Okay, let's not do all that. Lamar Jackson, Matt Ryan. No, we're not gonna go that far now. I don't think they're playing that abysmal. Well, Davis Mills actually. Maybe no. Kyler Murray, no. No, Davis Mills can make it into that bottom five. I ain't gonna lie to you. Trey Lance broke his ankle. Come on now, that's not nice. But the Justin Fields and Carson Wentz put together a campaign this past Thursday that absolutely nobody would want to watch. And that's the kind of game that should never be a primetime national televised game. Because if you're a casual viewer of football, that's the kind of game that makes you want to change the channel and say, you know what? I don't mind watching synchronized swimming. I don't mind watching competitive curling. I don't mind watching badminton. I don't mind watching handball. I don't mind watching softcore pornography because all of those were substantially, exponentially more entertaining than that football game. It was abysmal. You talk about a stinker, a fucking abysmal, bruh. And anybody who thought it was relatively entertaining is ass a 6, ass a 7, ass a 8, ass a 9 in their thought process. I've said time and time again, I love defensive football. I enjoy defensive football games. However, offensive ineptitude, that bothers me. It's one thing if a defense shuts an offense down. For example, a lot of people didn't enjoy Super Bowl 48 when the Broncos got absolutely obliterated by the Seattle Seahawks, right? But you can tell when watching that game, it did not matter what Peyton Manning and the Broncos offense tried to do. The fucking Seahawks had a counter and an answer for it. Peyton's passes were this close. It's freaking tipped down, or somebody catches and get blown up. Rest in peace to Demaryius Thomas. The pass rush is just this much faster than him finding somebody who's open. Where if you watch Super Bowl 53 between the Patriots and the Rams, you saw the chess match between Sean McVay and Bill Belichick, and you saw what makes Bill Belichick such a goddamn juggernaut on the defensive side. But when you watch a game like we just saw the last 2 Thursdays, offensively, these dudes are absolute garbage. The play calling, terrible. The execution, terrible. The protection on the offensive lines, terrible. The running games, terrible. Chicago, it was all right here and there. They had some moments between Herbert and also Montgomery, things of that nature. But for the most part, just absolute offensive ineptitude, and you'll never be able to get anywhere with that kind of performance. Because although it's only week 6, it's never too late to turn. Well, I would say by week, when you reach the point where there's about 7 weeks remaining left in the season, like the halfway point is where you get to, that's when you start to kind of look at me like, yeah, I think it's a far-gone conclusion. It's clipped for you. You would have to literally win out. Somebody call on Aaron Rodgers, relax, and you'd have to win out in an effort to, make a little bit of noise. But I think it's a far-gone conclusion for these two teams. Pack them up. It's over, bro. Take the L out of Lover. Y'all season damn near over, bro. Because it doesn't look like their offenses can revive. Washington is in better shape than Chicago is. But Chicago, hey, pack them up. Get them up out of here. Nate the Great in the building. What's going on? Pack them up. Get them up out of there, man. It's over. And it's only been 6 weeks, but I think it's time to pack them up, man, because it don't look good at all. And somebody better start calling the phone for Eddie Jackson. Get that man freed out of Chicago, though. Hey, Raquan Smith, it's time. You asked for your trade. They didn't trade you. Pack your bags, brother. It's over, man. It's like, and I'm optimistic about a lot of teams. Truly, I'm optimistic until about like week 11. Now with the 18-week season, by week 11, that's when you could start to say, all right, yeah, I think it ain't. There's no way to turn it around. But right now, these two teams, it's very difficult to sit here and be like, man, I think they can make a little bit of noise here and there. It's bad, bro. They got to figure it out. They've got to figure it out. And both, you could tell they are both truly bottom of their division. The Lions may have a worse record than the Bears, but I believe they're a better football team than the Bears. Because the Lions in their games, it was like this much away, with the exception of course, when they played the Patriots. But the Bears, my God. It's bad. And then the Washington, I don't know what the hell they doing on offense, man, because Gibson hasn't necessarily been able to get as much separation as they needed him to get coming out of the backfield. And then for whatever reason, Terry McLaurin is not getting all of the targets that he needs. Hands are for decoration here and there. Curtis Samuel dropping a couple of balls that were there. Carson Wentz uninjured his doggone hand. It seems like every single year he's dealing with something. It's just, they need to figure it out, bro. It's bad. Yeah, David, I'm sorry, man. Your Bears, they fucking suck, man. They suck right now. It's bad. It's very bad. And I feel the same way about Pittsburgh too. I'll get to that in a little bit, but come on, man. They gonna have to step it up because I don't get it, man, because coming into the season, I already knew they was going to have a little bit of issues. And then, of course, Darnell Mooney not having the hands necessary to grasp the football for the game-winning touchdown. Instead, he bobbles it. Ridiculous. And truly, he's supposed to be the number one guy on that team. He's supposed to be the number one guy, so he's going to have to step up. Truly, he's going to have to step up. Because this ain't it. But both teams sitting now at 2-4, and nobody wants to watch those football teams. Let's advance to Sunday afternoon, and we'll start in Atlanta. Atlanta and San Francisco. Now, I will say this about this game. A lot of people, myself included, figured this would be a game that San Francisco walks into Atlanta and walks out with a W because right now, or I should say entering that game, I looked at San Francisco as one of the better teams in the NFC. A lot of teams have better records. Well, I don't want to say a lot. It's a handful of teams that had better records, but San Francisco went out there and they laid an egg. Why did they lay an egg? They started out the game trailing 14-0. Credit to Atlanta putting together a couple of drives to go ahead and do so. If I'm not mistaken, there was an early turnover, was there not? Yes, it was the fumble recovery for the touchdown. That's what it was. So Atlanta opens up the game. They go down the field. They score a touchdown. Then they end up punting. San Francisco has a fumble that results in a touchdown, right? San Francisco answers right back. They score 2 consecutive drives in a row. Now with the score being evened up at 14-14, Atlanta goes down, they get themselves a score. This is where San Francisco lost the game. Because when they drove down the field, and if you really take into account both interceptions that Jimmy G threw, both were targeting Deebo Samuel, weren't the best balls or understanding between the two of them. I guess the chemistry, despite the fact that they played together, for now, if I'm not mistaken, 3 years? This is year number 4 for them altogether. It just, those were costly. That's what cost them. And moreover, why was it the Jimmy G show? It didn't have to be. Second half, what happened to committing to the run game? Like, there was no, that was very confusing. The run game in the second half simply was not there for San Francisco. Like, I didn't understand that. They didn't even try. Why? Jimmy G's going to win you the game with your arm? That's confusing. That's very confusing. Kudos to the Falcons. First off, kudos to Marcus Mariota. He played his ass off. That was a hell of a goddamn game from him. Derek put 2 on, said, are the Falcons better than you thought? Yes. Through 6 weeks, absolutely. Way better than I actually had initiated. Or I should say that I initially thought. Gerald put 5 on and said, how ridiculous does Brady look comparing playing in the NFL to military deployment? How ridiculous does he look? In literal terms, it's ridiculous. Figuratively, I can understand. However, there's different levels to it because with military deployment, there's the real threat of death. Now, granted, you can die playing football, but the probability is much, less. In the military, probability is, slightly higher. So since that's the case, I can understand where the, how it would look rather ludicrous. But I'm sure if you were to utilize it in an analogy, there would be a level of understanding. You got to look at it from the physical standpoint rather than the literal. But I can completely understand. Danny, why? Somebody would say, it's ludicrous. Danny puts 2 on, said, Fields is mediocre, Wentz is terrible. Malicious Mall put 2 on, said, I'd rather watch the new Halloween movie. I actually have not seen the new Halloween movie. Not too sure if I'm going to see it. The Wooster put 5 on it, said, sending love from the UK. Came across your channel a few weeks ago, and I love it. Got me back into the NFL again. Keep up the great work. Hashtag Death Note. Yes, indeed. Somebody this season, in due time, will be inputted into the Death Note. I keep it on me at all times. I'll be opening it up on the bus. Well, shit, I only been on the bus like twice in this entire year. But I open it up wherever, if I'm in public and I got it inside my bag, I just open this joint up. I don't even be writing nothing in it. I just keep it, relatively open. And then people are like, what is going on here? I don't understand. He has the Death Note. What does that mean? What does Death Note mean? I think he's a school shooter. Does he go to school? He don't look like he goes to school. I think he's got something in his pockets. What is that? Is that an erection? Oh my God, his dick's so big. What is going on over here? I think he's trying to kill somebody. I'm like, ma'am, it's not as serious as you think. It's not like I wrote down any names. That's ridiculous. Why would there be any names that's actually written down right there? That's craziness. But whatever the case may be. What you talking about? I didn't say nothing. Craig, put 5 on it. Said, I'm scared for my Ravens and Cowboys moving forward. Oh, that's an interesting mix of two teams. Also, I wanted to commentate sports like this. I'm 20 and not sure how I start. Any tips? Well, for one, I would say grab any microphone that you can. Where is my headset? This is $26 on Amazon. Sennheiser. Is it Sennheiser? EOS? Yeah, it's EPOS. Let me see if that can focus on there. EPOS is the thing there. Yeah, it's EPOS headset, right? You find a headset. You could use a Movie Maker, and you would just upload something there and just record your voiceover on videos, and the sky's the limit from there. You just find a way to have your own originality in your videos, or hell, even if you don't want to have your own originality. I implore anybody, get on social media now and simply create content, because there is no algorithm. Even if you make shit content, mediocre content, there's a shit ton of mediocre individuals out right now making hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of dollars, millions of dollars, and they don't need to do anything too complex. So I would just say start recording. Hell, you can even start doing, I believe you can voice record from your phone. Just connect the two. InShot is a free app, and just start posting. That is best advice that I can give you, and just stay consistent, and time will tell. Peyton put 2 on, said, so when you getting them Game 3 tickets? That's a very good question. I was just looking at it for Saturday. It's actually not going to rain, so I will be in the building. It's just a matter of when I get back, because I will be going to New Jersey to go to a gun range on Saturday morning. But I'll most likely purchase the tickets, if not tonight, then tomorrow. So by the stream tomorrow, I should let you know. Well, then again, I'm sure that you'll probably pull up to the game too, because 1, you're a Yankee fan, 2, you're from the Bronx, unfortunately. So if I'm going to be out there, definitely let me know if you're pulling up to the game. Jarvis put 5 on, said Panthers upset the Bucks. You know what's crazy? No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'll think about it. Honcho put 10 on, said, Chisel, when are you going to make the Ime Udoka vid? Cause, well, you know what's funny? I'm not too sure. Like right now, I'm very indifferent about it. I'm very indifferent about it, because I want to know if they're gonna release, the woman's name and other information like that. And it seems like there's more underlying things that have not been brought to the light yet. There's just something that's telling me there's a possibility that new information will be released. So I'm waiting, but then at the same time, I'm not even too sure if I want to, go for, because my opinion on the situation isn't as strong. Like usually when I make a video on something, I got like a strong opinion about it. This one in particular, I'm looking at like, I don't know if I give as much of a fuck as the people would want me to. So it's some. Macho said if I need him to pull up since I'm going to the BX. No. I think I'll be okay. I got the blade of I won't bring the blade of Levi, but I will bring my. I think I have to bring my miniature dagger alongside me. I'll keep that on my hip. Should I get it through scanning? Probably not, but I'll keep it on my inside my sock. Anybody want to try me out there? You'll feel it in your appendix. And I'm talking about the blade, not my appendage. Now, let's move on to the next game. From the, oh, yes, I did mention with Marcus Mariota, kudos to him. And a very, very good game because through the air, he was 13 of 14, 129 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then on the ground, he was 6 carries for 50 yards and a touchdown. It was the Marcus Mariota coming out party, solidifying that he may not have been a starter, for some years, but he still can play the game of football. So kudos to that brother, and I hope he had a swig of some tequila. Very good job. Next up, the Lolly Lule Low took down the Cleveland Browns. And what did we say going into this game last week? What did we talk about in the comment section? What did we say in the chat? What's Belichick going to do? He going to take away Nick Chubb. He going to take away Kareem Hunt. And he's going to force his former quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, to beat him. And did Jacoby Brissett beat him? Fuck no, he didn't. Nick Chubb had 56 yards on the ground on 12 carries. Kareem Hunt had 12 yards on 4 carries. The run game was non-existent. Brissett had to throw the football 45 times. The offense for the Browns looked absolutely abysmal, and all the Patriots had to do was run the football, and they did. Moreover, Zappy played amazing. Amazing. Zappitos played amazing. 24 of 34, 309 yards, 2 TDs, no picks. The run game, Ramondre Stevenson ran 76 yards on the ground. And to tell you the truth, now I think about the Patriots didn't even need to run the ball like that. It was really just zapping them down the field left and right. They did a hell of a job. A hell of a job. Defensively, back-to-back weeks, dominant defensive performances. Multiple takeaways, back-to-back weeks. They did a phenomenal job. Open and drive. Interception song. Turned that into points. Very next drive, they was able to, after they done kicked the field goal, turnover on downs, forced another punt. They held them to field goals, went to the second half, interceptions, all this other stuff. They did a hell of a goddamn job. Kudos to the Lolly Lule Low. I'm told you guys, trust in Bill Belichick. He'll get those guys right. And I'm going to tell you something right now for the damn Browns, they in trouble. And I already said this. If you're able to shut down the run, which is pretty it's not easy to go and, shut down Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. It's not easy. But if you take them away, Cleveland now has no philosophy. Don't get me wrong. Amari Cooper's a good wide receiver. Some would offer, some would say, with his route running ability, he can be great. But if he's the only option because your run game is non-existent, you're going to have a bad time. I didn't get to the Eagles game yet. I'm going to get to them way later. So it's a hell of a goddamn job that Bill Belichick shut those guys down because Bill Belichick is notorious for this. He's going to take away your number 1 and your number 2 option. Because Nick Chubb was shut down and the Patriots were starting to run away with a little bit of a lead, they didn't even try to run the football to Kareem Hunt. So now it's Jacoby Brissett trying to play the dink and dunk game, which ain't his game, then trying to push the ball down the field. He ain't have time. They didn't have a good time whatsoever. Is there a QB controversy right now in New England? I say no. However, if they keep running off with wins, I would lean more towards yes. Couple of wins able to create a QB controversy? No. But I'm telling you something right now. If Zappy has them in a situation where in week 10, the Lolly Lule Low are sitting at the conclusion of week 10, they sitting at 7-3, 6-4. Zappy's got 5 W's under his belt. He's got 6, because remember, they started 1-3. Zappy's taken over, and they have not lost. It's only been 2 games, but still. At that point, you gonna sit the man with the high hand? Fuck no, you won't. We've seen Belichick start a guy who was unproven. His name was Tom Brady. So, with that being the case, it all depends. It's too soon to talk about QB controversy. However, give it some time, man. Zeke said you need that cash. Well, it's on the screen, brother. Everything's on. Everything's on the screen. Dios. Pafavon said, do I think the Falcons have a decent shot at winning the division? Actually, if they play the way that they played, yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. If indeed they're able to wait, really? They put an age restriction on the video? Are they serious? Oh, these motherfuckers. But Pats Nation, y'all looking good right now. Y'all are looking good right now. Next up, Jets, Jets in one of the bigger upsets of the week, if not the upset of the week. We'll talk about Pittsburgh and Tampa a little bit later. But the Jets walked into Lambeau and shut the Packers down. First and foremost, the whole first half was literally 3-3. And the game ended with the Jets outscoring the Packers 24-7. This was one of the two games this season where Green Bay desperately wished that they had Davante Adams. This really showed here, where Aaron Rodgers needed somebody to make a play. You can tell the chemistry simply is not there. Slightly with Lazard, but with everybody else, it just ain't there. It just ain't there. That man needs. Das Nuke said, ayahuasca Aaron wasn't looking so hot. This was a game where he needed Davante Adams. And man simply was not there. Sauce Gardner is indeed the truth. That man is as legit as they come. And what's interesting to me was the lack of it's not necessarily like the game where they lost a couple of weeks ago. No. When they lost to the Giants and they abandoned the run game, it wasn't necessarily like that. However, I was taken aback that the run game did not perform well. Now, granted, Jones had it was Dillon that had 10 carries. Jones had 9. But I was very taken aback that they didn't try in the first half to just solely commit to the run game. It was very bizarre to me because I was like, man, it's not working. These guys going 3 and out. Like, it's very bizarre. But the Jets, kudos to those guys. They showed up, showed out. I'm not going to give any large credit to the quarterback because the quarterback didn't really do too much. Zach Wilson, I'm looking at you, you motherfucker. Don't try to sleep with my mom. She's 68. There's nothing you can get from it. Why would you want to slide in her DMs? She doesn't even have DMs. But Breece Hall, that boy's legit. He a dog. But the defense for the Jets is truly what should be on the marquee here because they provided pressure. They got to Rodgers. They shut down the run. They broke up passes. They did a phenomenal job. Across the board, a phenomenal job. Special teams. The Packers were able to capitalize on block punts, but then the fucking Jets were able to turn a blocked punt into a score, and then that was pretty much all she wrote from there because they took all of the momentum. It was in the middle of third quarter, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no. Yeah, it was the middle of third quarter. Jets went down the field. They got a touchdown, blocked punt, took that for a touchdown, and that was pretty much all she wrote. The Packers went down the field and scored, but then it was clipped from that point. Then they had a turnover on downs, and every other drive, fucking Jets found the end zone or kicked it through the uprights and good. So that is how you pardon me. They found the they had a field goal after that. It wasn't like they found the other end zone. It was literally like 4 drives after that. But whatever the case was, hell of a doggone job from the Jets. Are they legit? Too early to call. They're kind of like the Giants. They just hang around. But with this Jets team, I'm gonna give them they kudos, man. I'm going to give them they goddamn kudos. Macho Time, put 1 on it. Much love, brother. I'm going to give them they kudos. They did a hell of a damn job. I ain't gonna take nothing away from them. Jets, 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 Jets. We're gonna say it from the damn synagogue. Jets, 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 Jets. Jets, 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 Jets. Is that it, Benny? Good job for the New York Jets. They are doing their job out there, doing a phenomenal job, and nobody could have seen this coming. If I'm not mistaken, this was the first time in what was it, 8 years that the Jets, Giants, Bills, and Yankees won a game on the same day? Or was it same weekend? I can't recall. I believe it was same day. Whatever the case was, hell of a goddamn job. New York football is playing pretty goddamn good right now across the board. They are doing a great job. So kudos to the damn Jets. Next, we have the Jaguars and the Colts. The Colts were able to win in the final moments. Matt Ryan found, if I'm not mistaken, was it Thomas at the end of the game? I forget. No. It wasn't Thomas. It was that guy who caught. It was his first touchdown. Pierce. He found Pierce in the back of the end zone for the score to win the game. Matt Ryan played a great game. Listen, let me tell you something right now. For a guy who has been under duress all day, this was the best game the goddamn Colts offensive line played in pass protection all season long. All season long. If I'm not mistaken, Matt Ryan did not get sacked once. He didn't get sacked once. He threw for nearly 400 yards. He had 3 touchdowns and no picks. The offensive line showed up in pass protection this game. Congratulations to you motherfuckers. The Colts got themselves a much-needed win. Matt Ryan, his jersey was clean for somewhat. He did a hell of a job, and when they needed to go get the victory, he took them down the field, and they fucking got it. For the Jaguars, disappointing, man. These last 3 weeks have not been their best brand of football. They started 2-1, and if I'm not mistaken, did they lose their last 3 games? I think the Jags have lost their last 3 games. Let me see here. Did the Jags lose their? Yep, they lost their last 3 games to the Eagles, Texans, and Colts. And if I'm not mistaken, offensively, things have not necessarily looked the best, despite the fact that Trevor Lawrence played a pretty good game. He only had 2 incompletions. Motherfucker was 20 of 22, 165 yards and a touchdown. On the ground, Travis Etienne had a big-ass 48-yard run. And then also, Hasty had a 61-yard touchdown. And still, Jags took that goddamn L. Why? Because the Colts, when you needed it most, was able to put together a drive that led to a victory. But it's a big goddamn job for the freaking O-line. Whoa, what you mean? No, wait a minute. Matt Ryan's out? Matt Ryan's out this upcoming week? Oh, no. They confirmed that he's out today? Shit. I would hope not. I hope he's all right. That sucks. That's brutal, man. Hey, J Money Jeff, what's going on, brother? But hell of a goddamn job for the Colts. Getting the job done, getting a much-needed victory, and them being able to move alongside the Tennessee Titans is going to be quite the battle towards the tail end of the year. But the Jags, the last 3 games, the second half of the game against the Eagles, the entire game against the Texans, and then they needed an offensive, game like this, at least where they have those splash plays, where you had Michael Hasty have that touchdown on his second carry of the year. You have Travis Etienne starting to get, involved, but unfortunately, and Lawrence played a pretty good doggone game, but it just wasn't enough because the Colts simply wanted it more. So they got themselves a W. For the Jags, just stay resilient, keep working, because you could always still turn it around. Granted, you're sitting at, where you don't want to be right now at 2-4. However, keep in mind who's leading in the division. Tennessee and Indianapolis. You're only a game behind. So since that's the case, they still got a shit ton of time. So it's never too late. Joe Pafavon said, I think Matt Ryan would have a much better season overall if the Colts O-line wasn't made of wet toilet paper. Correct. Absolutely correct. If they protected that man, Colts offense would have been able to put up, I believe, more points. However, their red zone game needs to be a bit better. Jeff, what's going on, brother? But kudos to the Colts getting a victory. Miami loses their third straight after starting undefeated to the Minnesota Vikings, advancing to 5-1. First and foremost, Kirk family member Cousins playing yet another good game. Dalvin, I like to cook. Very, very, very nice run, but a very average game. Outside of that 53-yard carry, he did nothing. But did the Vikings necessarily have to do too much? Because the Dolphins' offense wasn't doing, anything at all. So all the Vikings had to do was just stick around. And lo and behold, Teddy Trolls lived near the Bridgewater, decided to go and turn it to Teddy turnover. The goddamn Dolphins could not, for the life of them, get the football, into the hands of the people they needed it to be in to get the scores. And although Tyreek Hill put up yards, Waddle put up yards, did it give them W's? No, it did not. Offensively, if you look at this total stats, if I'm not mistaken, Miami outgained the fucking the Vikings by 200. Yup, they outgained them by 200. 458 to 234, and they still were losing by 2 scores towards the tail end of the goddamn game. Ain't that something? You outgain your opponent by over 200 yards, and you still lost the game. That's crazy. They were losing by 2 scores in the fourth quarter. What was the score again? It was 24-10 in the fourth quarter, and then they had thrown an interception too. That's crazy. You talk about empty stats. Waddle and Tyreek Hill lit up the stat sheet. And these motherfuckers, all they shits was insignificant, bruh. It's clipped for the Dolphins. They need Tua to return to pre-concussion Tua, or they're going to have a bad time. They need pre-concussion Tua desperately. All them yards ain't mean a goddamn thing. J Money Jeff said, you didn't know Mandy Rose had OnlyFans? Neither did I. This is news to me. Honcho Pavavon said, Matt Ryan's son is on the Lakers. What? Has it? Pavavon said, that's a nice game, Carson. Be a real shame if you're out 4 to 6 weeks. Get well soon. Yes, indeed. He is out 4 to 6 weeks. Brutal. Absolute brutal. Yeah, can't forget about that that ugly gritty. Yeah, that was a terrible gritty right there. But a very unfortunate situation for Miami. Very unfortunate situation for Miami because if Tua does not look like pre-concussion Tua, things aren't going to look very promising because they looked very, 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 very nice through 3 weeks. And then now you're looking at them like, yeah, I forgot these motherfuckers were supposed to be a powerhouse in the AFC. So it's unfortunate, but they're going to have to figure that out this weekend, Sunday Night Football against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we'll see how things play out in prime time. I'm hoping Pittsburgh, goes in and takes care of business, but only time will tell there. Advancing to the Cincinnati Bengals, getting a come-from-behind victory over the New Orleans Saints. Let me say this. On the ground, Alvin Kamara, good game. Nearly 100 yards. He showed up. Taysom Hill was not as big as a factor this week as he was the week before. Andy Dalton had to try to get it done through the air, but really all the fucking Bengals had to do was stick around, and that's exactly what they did. All they had to do was just stick around. You give them a chance in a 50-50 game, they're going to find a way to win if they got that football in their hands. I already said entering this season that the Bengals wouldn't win all them 50-50 games. This was one of them. And because a motherfucker can't tackle, Jamar Chase catches the football, evades a man, goes down the field, and fucking wins the damn game. But you know what's crazy? If you watch the momentum of the game in that fourth quarter, all the Bengals really needed to do, because they was only trailing by 2, just get in the field goal range, set it up for McPherson to kick it in a dome. That's all she going to write, man. Dalton. Yeah, Dalton. Andy Dalton is the starting quarterback for the Saints. You didn't know? And he didn't even do that well either. But Andy Dalton, there was only so much that he could probably mess around and do. They need Jameis. Truly, I believe they need Jameis. Yeah, that boy Tree. Dalton's the starting quarterback for the Saints because Winston is down. But Joe Burrow, this was a great game for Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. They won a national championship in that stadium, and they showed out as if, it was a national championship once more. Oh, that boy Tree didn't know? Well, now you know, brother. But a hell of a goddamn game from Joe Burrow. If I'm not mistaken, he went over 300 yards. Let me check. He went exactly 300 yards on 28 of 37 passes. Exactly 300 yards. He threw 3 TDs. 2 of them was in the hands of Jamar Chase. Joe Mixon and company didn't even need to really run the football like that. But it was more of the Joe Burrow show. And damn it, it showed up when they needed it most. And Jamar Chase made a difference. I will say this for Cincinnati, though. If I'm not mistaken, let me see, every single game, if I believe, has come down to the wire. Every single game, with the exception of their victory over the Dolphins. Of course, that's the game that Tua got knocked out of. In the game against the Jets. But, yeah, for the most part, Steelers, Cowboys, Ravens, Saints. 4 of the last 6, those have come down to the wire. You don't want to have to keep, having them 50-50 games, man. Because that shit emotionally fucking drives a team nuts. That drives a team absolutely nuts. Nobody wants to have to deal with that shit. But Joe did a hell of a goddamn job, and kudos to him. Speaking of the AFC North, next game, Ravens and Giants. And let me say this. You talk about teams that just need to stick around. The Giants, truly, I'll give them their props. They sit here at 5-1. I will give them their props. However, the Giants is just like Edge, Adam Copeland. They're ultimate opportunists. They'll just stick around and fucking wait. All they did was wait. Waited for the Ravens to do stupid shit. This right here, Lamar played a bad game against Cincinnati. He played another bad game against the Giants because it was up here this time. The game against Cincinnati, it was, his arm, he was just missing passes. The game against the Giants, it's up here. You talk about a motherfucker who wants to get paid. These are the kinds of games that end up having the organization say, yeah, we ain't going to pay you as much as you want to get paid. That right there, very bizarre, bro. Because let me tell you something right now. This was a game that the Giants should have lost. There's a game that Baltimore should have been able to walk away with a W. Because on the ground, Kenyon Drake goes over 100 yards. Lamar Jackson runs for damn near 80. And then, for the most part, they were playing all right. All of a sudden, the fourth quarter come around, Baltimore get comfortable. This is now the 3rd game. All of their losses, they've blown it in the 4th quarter. Macho said that we believe in Danny Dimes. I'm not even going to lie to you, dog. I really don't. I don't. But it's going to come a point where, like, Danny Dimes this season reminds me of Jimmy Garoppolo a few years back. When San Fran went to the Super Bowl, Danny Dimes is playing like what Jimmy G played like when they went to the Super Bowl. All you got to do is just manage the game. That's it. All you got to do is just manage the game. Did I touch on the Pats? Yes, I spoke about the Pats a little bit earlier. All you got to do is manage the game. All Danny got to do is just chill out, hang around, slowly and methodically work your way down the field, find somebody in the end zone, and you good. Danny didn't need to go out there and win the damn game. Just have your team stick around. And that's exactly what the fuck happened. Let me tell you something right now. Lamar Jackson's interception at the end, oh, that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. You winning. What the you escape on, I believe they are, there was a bad snap. He picked the sumbitch up, and I believe he threw the interception on second down. Let me see. Which down was it? It was a third down. This motherfucker here. Bad snap. Picks it up. Let me try to run. Throw the football away. Nah. I'm going to try to make a play. I'm going to throw the football into traffic. What? How much time was on the clock? Hold on. How much time was on the clock? He threw that pick with 3:04 on the clock, up by 3. Bruh. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. What are you doing? Then Giants go and they get themselves a score, right? Baltimore get the ball back, strip sack. Now it's in their hands. They're going to try to do, oh, well, if we let them score, then we can get the football back and try a miracle. No, Saquon Barkley has IQ. And what did Saquon Barkley do? Well, I picked up the first down, but fuck it. I'm going to slide right here. Fuck the touchdown. You know how many people who are stupid? This is one of the reasons why I always touch on people's IQ when watching football. And I've said this time and time again. This is why I say sports fans as a whole is incredibly fickle, and a lot of people are very stupid. There's no way in a season where we've seen more comebacks in the fourth quarter to start the season through 6 weeks than we have in quite some time. People were like, yo, why did he score? What do you mean, why did Saquon Barkley score? The Jets literally just came back against the Browns 4 weeks ago with under 2 minutes left to play from a double-digit deficit. And now you ask a question, why would Saquon Barkley slide rather than score a touchdown? Well, what's the probability of them scoring a touchdown? Are you stupid? Win the game. Just win the game. That shit drives me up a wall. You clearly don't watch football. You literally just see the same team that they playing against blew 3 double-digit leads in all of their losses. Every single week we've seen some team blow a double-digit lead in the game. How are you going to sit over here and say, why didn't he score? I don't understand it. Just go and get more points. Are y'all stupid? Brian Westbrook's done it before. Yes, he has. No. People care. No, of course, people care about their fantasy team. But there were individuals who wasn't even talking about fantasy. There were people like, oh, no, the game was out of reach. Even if they scored, the Ravens wouldn't have came back. Look at the way they were playing before. What? People stupid, man. This shit real life, man. Win the goddamn game. People who complain about fantasy, I completely understand. You just want them fantasy points. All right, cool. There's no way you're a fan of a football team that makes a winning play and you complain about the winning play. That's how I know you don't know the sport. That's how I know you don't know the sport. Hazard said flashback to Todd Gurley. Yup. They played the Lions. Todd Gurley tried to stop himself. He fell into the end zone. They scored. Oh, it don't matter. We going to win the game. No. Come back on that ass. Now you're not having a good time at all. Do the winning play that secures the win. And that's exactly what Saquon Barkley did. So kudos to that man. Getting himself and the Giants a W, and they moved on to 5-1. I can't necessarily say the Giants legit, but damn it, you got to give them their kudos. Next upset alert of the week, Pittsburgh Steelers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't need to go way too in-depth on this particular game. I will say this, Pittsburgh's front four showed the fuck out. Those guys were generating pass rushes with only bringing 4. They did their job. They shut down the run up until the final Tampa Bay drive where Leonard Fournette was a goddamn bowling ball whenever the fuck Tom Brady needed him to be. They took Mike Evans out of the game. Chris Godwin wasn't able to find himself open here and there. Brady was not having a very good time. Could you chalk this up to him not practicing? Could you chalk this up to him not traveling with the team? Could you chalk this up to what's happening in his personal life? Whatever the case was, Pittsburgh showed out in a game that they lost. Kenny Pickett, Mitch, I'm not a bitch Trubisky, stepped in after getting booed off the field on that very field 3 weeks ago. This man stepped in and put on a goddamn performance, going 9 of 12, 144 yards and a touchdown. Chase Claypool made winning plays. Pittsburgh could not run the football, didn't really concern themselves with running the football, but they were able to get the W, and I got to give them guys kudos for that. They took Tampa Bay's offense, balled it up, and threw that sumbitch away. Offensively, Pittsburgh ain't do nothing too doggone special. Outside of that opening drive, touchdown, they did virtually nothing until Mitch Trubisky's touchdown drive at the end of the game. 2-point conversion. Devin Bush made the play of his life to break that goddamn pass up, and they got themselves that W. For Tampa Bay, would I be concerned? Absolutely, because the offensive line does not look as good as it needs to be. Injuries here and there. If I'm Jensen, I'm not rushing back. I would take my time. Because you don't want to deal with a further, injury. Defensively, the Bucs look aight, but they're not as good as they were 2 seasons ago, and definitely not even last season. And they've got to figure it out. But here's the positive: it's only week 7 now, so they have more than enough time to right their wrongs, correct their mistakes. But through 3 weeks, I can't say they're the best team in the division. I would actually have to give that to Atlanta. And truly, I believe Atlanta probably would have got them had it not been for that bullshit, roughing the passer call. So I hope the next time that those two teams play, Atlanta take care of business. But hell of a goddamn job from Pittsburgh. The defense, they didn't have T.J. Watt. They didn't have Minkah Fitzpatrick. They were missing their top 3 corners. And those guys showed up and fucking showed out. Bunch of dudes who were absolute nobodies. There was some Tampa fans who was like, man, Tampa Bay, they prepared for Kenny Pickett. They didn't prepare for Mitch Trubisky. You think Mitch Trubisky was a difference? There's no way you could sit over here and talk about, the Tampa defense, they didn't prepare for this quarterback. You think Mitch Trubisky just stepped in and just led the team to fucking victory? How about that defense that was playing with a bunch of no-name fucking elevated practice squad guys, went out there and shut down fucking Brady, Evans, Godwin, Fournette, all those other motherfuckers. They showed up, showed the fuck out. The defense is what got the goddamn job done. So it's a hell of a goddamn job to on Pittsburgh's defense, man, because they had a bunch of no-name motherfuckers out there who they don't even have a jersey on sale. And them dudes stepped up and showed out, man. So that's a hell of a goddamn game. And good job to Chase Claypool, because you talk about a guy who said, I'm a top 3 receiver in the NFL. When they needed clutch catches, they went to him and he made those plays. So kudos to him. I was very, very, very impressed by the play of Pittsburgh's defense, man. That's the kind of, performance that you need from guys in order to move forward. Next up, the reigning defending undisputed Super Bowl champion of the world, Los Angeles Rams, taking on the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers absolutely suck. Let me say it once more. The Carolina Panthers absolutely suck. I don't think you heard me. The Carolina Panthers absolutely suck. If I am Christian McCaffrey, I am leaving this team tonight. Yesterday. I'm leaving last year. Give me a time machine. I will have changed where I got drafted. Matter of fact, tell my father to give birth to me while he's still playing. He's not going to give birth, because how he's going to give birth? He is a man. Take it back to Monday Night Football. Ed McCaffrey's injury, hopefully the day after 9/11, does not happen. Whatever the case may be, take it back to those days, because Christian McCaffrey needs to get the fuck out of Carolina. It's bad. It is absolutely bad. Let me say it from the cathedral. Ladies and gentlemen, if you did not know, the Carolina Panthers absolutely suck. Did you hear me? Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to inform you that the Carolina Panthers absolutely suck. Let me put a delay over there. If you did not know, the Carolina Panthers absolutely suck. The Carolina Panthers, they suck. They suck. They suck. They suck. They suck. The Panthers suck. Suck. They suck. They suck. They suck. They suck. The Panthers, they suck. They suck. They suck. They suck. They suck. They're garbage, bruh. They are absolute garbage, brother. The Rams aren't even playing at the level they're capable of right now. And truly, first and foremost, Matthew Stafford needs to start getting, I think somebody got to start punching him in the face. That pick six was bad pick six, of course. Now, granted, he did bounce back, 26 of 33, 253 yards, and a touchdown following that. But what is going on? Leading the lead in turnovers, he don't look very good right now. They didn't necessarily run the football well. They had over 100 yards collectively, but they didn't run the football very well. I think there's still a problem with only going towards Cooper Kupp. Allen Robinson was able to find the end zone, but for the most part, it looks like Stafford is always first read is Cooper Kupp and then fuck everybody else. They've got to figure that out. But overall, if there's any story from this game, it's that the Carolina Panthers, they suck. They suck. They suck. They suck. They suck. They suck. The Panthers, they suck. They suck. They suck. They suck. They suck. They suck. Terrible, bro. They are absolutely terrible. Jarvis Patuan said, so much pain. Arlen Patuan said, so the Panthers are king of the ring, Billy. God damn. And God said to him, Bob, but my name's Billy. It doesn't matter what your name is. The Panthers are absolute garbage, bruh. They are not playing good football. They don't look good. They don't play well. They don't mesh well. If I'm Christian McCaffrey, I am requesting a trade tonight. Because it's bad. Next up, Geno Smith. Geno Smith and the Arizona Cardinals. Or I should say in the Seattle Seahawks versus the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals are very disappointing, man. Let me tell you something right now. You talk about teams that had let me down. The Cardinals are incredibly a underperforming team. And it's disappointing. Offensively, they didn't find the end zone. The touchdown, the lone touchdown, came from the lone touchdown came from a fumble recovery, right? Then, of course, Amendola missed the extra point or whatever, but that didn't really matter because Seattle went down the field and they scored a touchdown. Here's my problem, right? For one, last year, James Conner was a Pro Bowler, right? Through the better majority of the season, he was leading the league in rushing touchdowns. Now, this season, he's relatively non-factor. Health is playing a role and things of that nature. The Cardinals' run game does not go unless it's Kyler Murray running the football because there was a 100-yard rusher. It was Kyler Murray playing backyard football, not really running an offense. When it came to throwing the football, Zach Ertz was there, magnificent for Ertz, but Marquise Brown, who I believe they just lost for the season, He had his flashes here and there, but nobody else was able to get open. Seattle's offense didn't necessarily do too much. Outside of Kenneth Walker's, run for the score, Seattle's offense was pretty much held in check. The Arizona offense, it was their ineptitude that cost them this game. They could have beaten Seattle. But offensively, they put nothing together. It's very, 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 disappointing, performance from Arizona thus far this season. I am thoroughly disappointed because I'm starting to understand why people say Kyler Murray isn't as good as a quarterback as his resume appears to be, because it doesn't seem as if they're really running an offense. It seems like, all right, we'll call a play. The play don't work. Kyler, go do some backyard football shit. Because you look at somebody like a Patrick Mahomes where you see him do all this other shit that's going on, but they're still running an offense. It's not like that's his primary way of making plays. He doesn't need to resort to backyard football in order to actually make play. He can make plays before that even has to happen. Kyler Murray, that doesn't seem to be the case. Kyler Murray, it seems like this man can't make a pass unless he's waddling out of the damn pocket. It's bad, bruh. And yes, Big Fat Paulie, I was just about to get to that. And it doesn't even seem like Mans gives a fuck. It don't even seem like Mans gives a fuck. It's very disappointing. It's absolutely disappointing. And I expected more from the Cardinals. And they're underperforming. They are underperforming. And I would hope that, Kingsbury doesn't have a situation to where his job is now called into question because of their underperformance. And I start to feel bad for that defense, because that defense actually did their damn job. Defense did their damn job this past week. And unfortunately, their offense didn't do them a very good job. So that is very, 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 very unfortunate. Fun fact, you just mentioned KT Chris. Talk about the Chiefs and Bills game. That's actually the next game I'm going to cover. Chiefs and Bills game. This was the best game of the week. I did not expect it to be high scoring. I figured it would be a lower scoring game. Evidently, Jordan Poyer, he couldn't fly. He wasn't cleared to fly because of his ribs. However, he hired somebody to drive him 15 hours to get to the game. And let me tell you something right now. The Bills are the class of the NFL. I believe these two teams should see each other again down the line. Will they? We shall see. But they definitely lived up to the expectation. At the conclusion of every single quarter, they were tied up. They were operating neck and neck. Josh Allen would go down the field, interception. What happens the other way? Pat Mahomes goes down the field, interception. You'd have somebody break off a decent, run. Other side of the field, you get somebody else break off a decent size run. Stephon Diggs, great game. Guess who counted that? Juju Smith-Schuster with a great game of his own. Dawson Knox, he found the end zone, the game-winning touchdown. Great pass from Josh Allen, way to go down the field. Patrick Mahomes thought he can answer, and then Patrick Kermit the Frog Mahomes went down the field, tried to get the game-winning score, but it didn't happen. Why? Because he threw an interception. He wanted to be free real estate, but instead it was free. Threw an interception when he did not need it to go down like that. I will say this. For Juju, I was very happy for him because this was by far his best performance as a member of the Kansas City Chiefs. If I'm not mistaken, his first touchdown as a member of the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes didn't play his best game, but neither did Josh Allen. They had identical games for the most part. No, Josh Allen didn't throw the interception. It was a fumble. I take that back. I'm sorry about that. But they both played good games for the most part. Now, for Mahomes, the last pick, I think for one, he shouldn't have thrown it. I think he thought he saw something that he didn't see. He rushed. He did not need to rush. He should have took his time. But unfortunate situation. They finally had Harrison Butker back, and you see the importance of having an elite level kicker. An elite level kicker. You see how important the the video premiere is less than 50 minutes. Yeah, that's why I'm gonna wrap things up because luckily enough I'm not gonna actually let me see if I could push the premiere back at least to 8:30. So that way when I go, because I know I'm gonna talk about the goddamn Chargers and Broncos, and I don't want to carry that forward into the doggone premiere. Let me see if I can push that back. But great job from the Buffalo Bills. And let me say this right now. Stephon Diggs is operating on a very, 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 very high level to where a couple of seasons ago when he was first team All-Pro, I think he can mess around and get that right back again this season because this man is just down the stretch, just relatively unguardable. You need a reception. He's the guy you go to. They can't seem to, corral him at all, bro. They cannot corral him at all. So when you need somebody to go make a catch, find Stephon Diggs. He's going to be open, and he finds a way to get open. And you know what? Chris Jones, for the Chiefs defense, he's playing very well. But you know somebody who's not? Frank Clark. Somebody help me find what the fuck happened to Frank Clark. After they won that Super Bowl, this man has done nothing. Nothing. They need a 55 to show up and show out, and he's done nothing. You can't play like garbage the way you've played like garbage. This man sucks. He won a ring and forgot how to play football. You just show up here and there. This man did nothing. What happened to Frank Clark? Get that man a senzu bean. Help Chris Jones on the goddamn line. This dude doing nothing. The fuck? I blame him. He the new D Ford? Shit. Hell, D Ford, the reason why they didn't go to the Super Bowl to play against the goddamn Rams. Could have had a rematch of that magnificent Monday Night Football game. But I'm going to start blaming Frank Clark. Stupid motherfucker, you stupid fucker, you. A Pizzy just became a member. I appreciate you. But you got to play better football. The Bills took care of business. Josh Allen protected the football. I stated earlier he threw an interception. It was actually a fumble. I take that back. I had to think about it for a second. Defensively, they did a good enough job. Both teams pretty much equaled each other out. For every punt, they responded with a punt. For every touchdown, was responded with a field goal. Oh, of course, that miss from Kansas City to open up, the half, that sucked. But he was able to make it back, and when it was evened up, entering the fourth quarter, and then the Chiefs took the lead. It was an unfortunate situation. They didn't score when they were trying to go down the field, but them threes and outs, that really sucked for them. But the Bills went down the field, scored the game-winning touchdown on a magnificent 12-play drive, and then when Patrick Mahomes wanted to try to answer, he simply could not. Does this mean that the Bills are by far and away the best team in the AFC? I wouldn't say by far and away the best team. I wouldn't go that far. But I will say that they definitely are at the top of the AFC right now. But remember, last year, the Bills beat the Chiefs in the regular season as well. So now we'll see how things look in the playoffs. It's way too early to crown somebody. I did state myself, I believe that the Bills will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. But right now, the Bills, they are them. You know how people will say, he is him. They are them at this particular stage. Dice King, Patuan said, with the 18 pick, the KC Chiefs select Chiseled Adonis. Well, that would be interesting. What position would I play? But hell of a goddamn job. Bills defeating the Chiefs in a very, very, very good game. Cowboys and the Eagles. Cooper Rush loses his first game as a starter in the NFL. In a season that he threw 0 interceptions, he throws 3. 2 terrible ones. The first one got ricochet. The third one, he did get hit in the pocket. And, he probably would have ended up finding, I believe it was CeeDee Lamb who was back there. However, You got to throw a better ball. 3 interceptions. It was bad. Ezekiel Elliott was on pace to have a very good game. And then in the fourth quarter, they kind of just forgot about him. Because in the third quarter, Zeke came alive because they ended the first half. He had 15 yards. He doubled his output in the third quarter with a magnificent touchdown run. And then the fourth quarter came, and they looked at the score and said, yo, we're going to throw the football. And that was a bad idea. Them boys took an L. 4-game win streak down the hole. But this is by far, I believe, Zeke's one of his better games this season. This was definitely one of his better games this season. Cooper Rush stunk up the joint, did not play a good game. I think if we were to look offensively and blame anybody, Cooper Rush. CeeDee Lamb had a what should have been called a first down right before the turnover on downs, right? Because it was a 3-drive sequence. The interception that led to a touchdown, the ricochet to C.J. Gardner-Johnson. All you had to do was catch the pick, C.J. There was the pick to C.J. Gardner-Johnson. The Eagles go down the field. They score a touchdown, right? They take advantage. I believe that's what gave them a 17. No, that gave them a 14-0 lead. The Cowboys then have Cooper Rush find CeeDee Lamb, and they should have been marked for a first down. I highlighted it in the commentary. If you didn't see the prime commentary, you should see that. CeeDee Lamb had the first down. The referees marked them short. Dallas rushed to the line to go for it from their own 35 on 4th and inches, when they literally could have just watched the replay and used a challenge because it was clearly a first down. What ends up happening? Turnover on downs. The Eagles turned that into a field goal. 3-possession game. Next Dallas drive. Very first play, Cooper Rush throws it right into the hands of big play Darius Slay. Now, the Eagles turn that into another field goal. It's 20-0. If Devontae Turpin does not return the ensuing kickoff inside Cowboys territory, or I should say Eagles territory, I can't envision a circumstance in which they end the first half with points. Then the third quarter was dominated by the Cowboys. Philadelphia in the second half has been atrocious this season. They have played very bad in the second half. But they played so well in the second quarter, which they've done all season long, it was able to override their performance in the second half. And ultimately in the fourth quarter, all they had to do was wait. They got themselves a score, and then it happened. Cooper Rush trying to launch it vertically down the field, and then he gets hit, and CJ comes in with the pick, and then from that particular point, it was all she wrote. I could make a whole series on ref fuck-ups. Indeed, I could. But first half, Cowboys looked absolutely incompetent. You got to play better coming straight out the gate. But it was that 3-drive sequence. Interception, turnover on downs, interception. That is what fucked them. That's truly what fucked them. 110%. That's what screwed them. Next up, and last but not least, I'm going to try not to lose my voice on this one here. Monday Night Football. Chargers, Broncos. Let me tell you something right now. I don't want to see the Broncos on primetime. I don't want to see the Broncos on national television. I don't want to see the Broncos regionally. I don't want to see the Broncos anywhere. I damn near want to boycott horses. That's how bad I feel about Broncos right now. Broncos country, let's ride. Suck! You fucking suck! Let Russ cook. I have food poisoning. This man is playing so garbage. Jerry Jeudy ready to fight every single game. Cortland Sutton ready to fight every single game. KJ Hamler ready to fight every single game. These dudes play like garbage. Melvin Gordon is damn near completely taken out of the rotation. You know, I had to find that he had 3 carries in the game. I didn't even know because I had never seen him on the field. I just seen son pouting on the sideline. Then the Chargers, they had injuries on offense. So I knew there was going to be, an uphill battle, right? Of course, you didn't have Keenan Allen since week 1. But they were without 2 O-linemen that were, if I'm not mistaken, 2 all-pro O-linemen. I believe one was first team, the other was second team, right? So I already knew offensively they were going to have a bad time. But here's what's very confusing. Why the fuck is Justin Herbert throwing 57 times like Austin Eckler is a bum? This game, Denver was leading 10-0, right? Opening drive, bam, let's go get some points. No, pardon me, it wasn't the opening drive. It was the, I think it was their second drive, right? They got some points. They were leading 10-0. Then second quarter rolls around. Chargers even up the score, right? So we tied up 10-10. Then the Broncos, they get 13 points right before halftime. We come out of the break. You mean to tell me you're not going to give Austin Eckler the football? Justin Herbert got to throw the football 57 times? Why? You don't need that to happen. I said it in the commentary. This man's got 34 consecutive games of 30-plus pass attempts. That's never been done in NFL history. That's never been done in NFL history. Why the fuck do y'all lean so dependent on the pass? You want to know why? Brandon Staley. That's why. What do you mean, Brandon Staley? Because this man is such an analytical freak. He looks at it like, oh, well, the pass is much more valued than the run in this generation of football. Therefore, why not throw the football so many goddamn times? Exactly. 57 passes and only 238 yards and no TDs. Why? Run the fucking football. Then Russell Wilson can't connect on a deep ball. KJ Hamler had a touchdown. Russell Wilson underthrew him in the fourth quarter. I believe that's what led to their field goal. Then Russell also had 2 other deep ball opportunities, Paul. Underthrows his guy once, completely misses his next guy the other time. Abysmal. They just was able to get their hands on the most Latavius of Murray's. And he goes to 60-some yards, but really didn't necessarily help out that offense. They look bad. And then it happened. Tie game. Chargers have the football. And I can't even put into words what happened. Let me make sure I get the exact number at the start of the drive. They started the final drive of regulation with 1:51 on the clock. And I'm going to read off the plays because this shit has been sitting on my chest, right? Line up in shotgun. Mind you, they have all 3 timeouts. Justin Herbert dumps it off to Austin Eckler. 0 yards, no gain. Justin Herbert dumps it off to Austin Eckler. Pickup of 5 yards. Justin Herbert dumps it off to Austin Eckler. Pickup of 5 yards. First down. The last 3 plays, dump off, complete, no gain. Dump off, complete, no gain. Dump off, complete, first down. Woohoo! You got 53 seconds Pardon me. 58 seconds on the clock. What did you call a timeout? You got 3 of them things. You got a first down, and you're now at the 35-yard line. All you need is a field goal to win, not tie, win. Wouldn't you call a timeout? You just picked up a first down. Anybody with a brain would use a timeout. Not Brandon Staley. Not Brandon Staley. Oh, no. I don't want to use any timeouts. Why would I want to use my timeouts? That's stupid. So, what do? They take their time. Then on first down, Herbert finds Palmer. Palmer goes out of bounds after a 5-yard gain. And then, guess who uses a timeout? Denver. 38 seconds on the clock. Oh, you got a chance now. You got a chance now. They call timeout. They fucked up. You could take a shot here. Or you could try to get an intermediate route to pick up the first down and then use a timeout. Nah, let's dump it off and keep it very short. We're going to go and find Everett for 4 yards. Now it's 3rd and 1. Okay. It's 3rd and 1 now. Broncos use their last timeout, right? It's 3rd and 1. 33 seconds. What play do they run? Yo, let's dump the football off to our, I believe it was a fullback or backup tight end. Because we're going to set up a play action where there's only one option. We're going to run a play action when we never really committed to the run all day. So they're really going to believe that because Herbert hasn't already thrown 49 passes, right? Now, it's complete, but time is running down. There's no reason to call timeout now. Because you got to let it run down. Because why call timeout now and then run a play if it's a turnover on downs? Broncos have an opportunity to do some. But you know what's interesting? All of that could have been avoided if you called timeout with 58 seconds after you picked up the first down. All of that could have been avoided. But instead, you wanted to go ahead and lollygag, and you put yourself in a situation where now you're going to overtime when you didn't need to. Then in overtime, both fucking teams look like absolute dog water. It took a muffed punt to end this game. I really hope they ended in a tie. I promise you, I really hope they ended in a tie. I really hope they ended in a tie. Both these goddamn teams fucking stupid. Brandon Staley needs his ass whipped. Matter of fact, Brandon Staley need to be teabagged by Rikishi. He need to be stink-faced by Rikishi and then teabagged. That man needs to be pelted with severed scrotums of trans women. That's what needs to happen. Throw all of the severed scrotums at Brandon Staley. That's what needs to be done. Lodge one inside of each of his nostrils. That's what needs to happen. Because I've never seen a coach this goddamn dumb, and they do it to themselves, bruh. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand it. And then the muffed punt. Locke engages a blocker a yard in front of where the returner is there to receive the football. You don't have any awareness of where you are on the field? Y'all not communicating, screaming, fire, fire, poison, poison. Or as Coach 30 would say, Brittany Renner. Stay away. But no, you run towards it. Ultimately putting your teammate in a very precarious situation because how the fuck I'm supposed to catch this punt? I got a teammate in front of me breathing down my damn neck. What the fuck I'm going to do? They muff the punt, they lose the game. Dustin Hopkins was the best player on the field, and he was a kicker with a damn pulled hamstring, bro. Terrible, bro. Mr. Unlimited. His team is sitting at 2-4, and them 4 losses on his shoulder pads. Granted, there was a muff punt, but truly, Russell Wilson was supposed to uncork a level on this offense that we didn't see before since Peyton Manning, and that's not happened. The Seahawks ended up winning the trade, but the Chargers won in spite of the garbage-ass coach. And truly, to the Chargers, I really wanted to put them on the L train as well. Only person who should be on the W train was Dustin Hopkins. He should have been on there by himself. Nobody wants to watch nationally televised Broncos games anymore. No more. We don't deserve that kind of punishment. I don't want to see a Russell Wilson game for the rest of the year. I don't even want to watch Broncos highlights. That's how much I don't want to see that shit. And Brandon Staley, I'll say this right now. You pull a stunt like this again, I'm going to lose my voice on the goddamn commentary. This man is a jackass, man. He's a jackass. They just don't make him like him anymore. So this dude's stupid. If I was Derwin James, you got to see me, bro. I'm putting hands on you. I got to put hands on you. Jose said, Patriots QB debate? Not yet. Not yet. It's too early for a QB debate. Not yet. 2 games, that's not enough to start talking about QB controversy. Way too early. Now, let me give you my rapid-fire picks for who I think is going to win this upcoming week. Now, to get there a little late getting out of class. Oh, wow, David just showed up now. Well, you done missed all the recaps of what transpired, but you are here and you're in the room, and that is what matters most, brother. So, Heisman, Patuans, and we still have 3 more Broncos primetime game. 3? Oh, Jesus. What you mean 3? They got 6? Stop it. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. This man trying to catch us in a genjutsu. But first and foremost, tomorrow night, Thursday Night Football. We'll do it rapid fire. Thursday Night Football, the Saints and Cardinals. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not overly excited. I believe this is a game that the Cardinals should win. The return of DeAndre Hopkins. And I think he will make a little bit of noise. Actually, no. I do believe he will make a little bit of noise. I don't think I can't recall if what his history against Lattimore is, but I think the Cardinals should be able to get this W here. But it's a victory that both teams need. So I'm hoping that it's an exciting game, but every Thursday night game has been somewhat since the Chiefs and Chargers, they've been very, very underwhelming. But I'm going to lean towards the Cardinals to win this game. I think that the Cardinals defense will show up, show out, and make something happen. I'm really, you know what? I think I'm gonna leave it up to the coin. I'm gonna do 4 out of 7 on the coin. Heads, Cardinals, they're the home team. Tails, Saints. So we've got heads, Cardinals, tails, Saints. I'm gonna leave it up to the coin because I'm really not too confident either way. So let's see here. We've got 1 Cardinals. Oh shit. Cardinals home team. We got 1 Cardinals. 1-1 Saints. Oh shit. What is going on? Why is this not staying on my goddamn hand? Cardinals. No, pardon me. That's actually Saints because Saints not the home one. Wait, home is Cardinal. So it's Saint. Well, they both the Saints. So it's tied up now. This what home is Cardinals, and then that's Saints. All right. So it's 2-2 right now. Saints. Cardinals. Next flip wins. Cardinals it is. We are rolling with the Cardinals for the victory. So, Cardinals win on Thursday Night Football. Baltimore and Cleveland. Cleveland. There's no quarterback play. But you know what? Shit. Baltimore should win this game, man. But I ain't even going to lie to you, dog. I think Cleveland could get him. I think Cleveland might get him. Oh, man. It's in Baltimore. Shit. Oh, shit. Cleveland or Baltimore. Jesus Christ. Everything should tell me to choose Baltimore, but I think Cleveland might get him. You know what? We did a coin. Baltimore heads, Cleveland tails. Baltimore heads, Cleveland tails. We got a Baltimore. Cleveland. Baltimore. Cleveland. Baltimore. Cleveland. Next flip wins. Cleveland it is. On the road. We got Cleveland winning on the road. Golly. So we got Cleveland winning on the road here against Baltimore. And then whoa, what just happened? Oh, I'm still here. I thought the damn stream done ended on me. So we got Cleveland winning on the road, and then now Tampa will take down Carolina. Cincinnati will get the victory at home against Atlanta. I think Cincinnati will get that victory at home against Atlanta. Detroit will walk into Dallas and pick up a victory against them boys. I think Detroit will pull off the upset alert. You heard that right. Jacksonville is taking an L against the Giants. I initially had, felt that would be an upset alert, but I can't bring myself to choose Jacksonville to win that particular game. Indianapolis and Tennessee in a battle of the AFC mid. And let me tell you something right now. I think Tennessee gets the W coming out party. Derrick Henry will go over 150. Green Bay, Washington, give me Green Bay. Denver Broncos and New York Jets. Please, Jets, do not lose. We don't want to now talk about what about the Broncos creeping back in. No, Jets win on the road. Las Vegas and Houston. Let me tell you something right now. If Houston beats Las Vegas, Derek Carr need to lose his job. Give me Las Vegas. Chargers and the Seahawks. Shit. Heads, Chargers. Tails, Seahawks. Chargers. Seahawks. 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 Shit. Seahawks it is. Seahawks win on the road. Kansas City over San Francisco. Pittsburgh over Miami. And New England over Chicago. So let me give you my picks for week 7. Arizona over New Orleans. Cleveland over Baltimore. Tampa Bay over Carolina. Cincinnati over Atlanta. Detroit, upset alert, over Dallas. New York Giants, that is, over Jacksonville. Tennessee over Indianapolis. Green Bay over Washington. New York Jets over Denver. Las Vegas over Houston. Seattle Seahawks over Chargers. KC over San Francisco. Pittsburgh over Miami. New England over Chicago. And those will be my picks. Now, it could be something that could mess around and be wrong, but let me know in the comment section who you guys got winning. I appreciate you all of y'all tuning in to the doggone stream. Please stay directed here as the next, my premiering video should take you it should take you directly to the next video. So until then, Russell, let him know what I should say. Russell Wilson, just take us out without Mr. Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited. Yeah, you got to be unlimited. You got to have a thought process of being unlimited. So,
Broncos have a London game and then a Sunday night game versus the Chiefs. Oh, Jesus Christ. Nobody wants to see that. Absolutely nobody wants to see that. If I see the Broncos on television one more time, I'm going to be like,
Yo! What the fuck?